Hello everybody, hope you're all doing well. So, the Scarecrow's packing heat in this reality. Wouldn't you know it? As I was gone on my father-son camping trip, I came back to this and thought I'd finally do a video on it. I'm going to tie in something that I've been talking about for 7 years on this channel to this, but this is voting video number 20. Please thumb this up if you do not recall the Scarecrow packing heat, brandishing a firearm in The Wizard of Oz. Now, my mom's sister was named Dorothy. This was her favorite movie. Came out, it was really big. She was a kid. You know, I guess she found a connection there with Dorothy in the movie, and she just really loved the movie her whole life. She passed away a few years ago, so I'm not able to talk to her about this, but I had lunch with my other aunt and my cousin yesterday, her daughter, the one that passed away, and asked them if they remember the Scarecrow having a gun. My cousin says, no, I don't recall a gun being used in the movie. And I showed this picture on my phone to my aunt, and she right away said, that's Photoshop. Because she obviously doesn't remember a gun. I asked my mother, said, do you recall a gun? She said, no, I recall an axe. I don't remember a gun ever appearing in the movie. So, please thumb this video up if you recall seeing The Wizard of Oz with no firearm being used by the brainless guy. So somehow the brainless guy found a gun as he headed into the forest, the haunted forest. So we have everybody run, the Scarecrow of Oz has a gun. There's many unexplainable things in this world of ours. Unanswerable questions. Where do these mysterious crop circles come from? Who built Stonehenge? Blah, blah, blah. But there's one question that slipped under the radar. From doing research online, I've found people have been discussing this for years, actually. But as the Mandela effect or the quantum effect has taken off here 4 months ago, gone many viral, a lot of people are discussing this now. It's kind of funny. It just now finally hit last week. And a lot of people are talking about it now. But they're asking here, the movie in question is The Wizard of Oz, and the question is, why does the Scarecrow have a gun? Where did he get a gun in the Emerald City? So, you know, there's who in the name of Oz gave the brainless guy a handgun? This is 2014. I found discussions going back to 2007. Someone asking online, does the Scarecrow have a gun? Because this shift in consciousness has been happening over time. And we're shifting it at different times. People are shifting. This isn't just something that happened on one day and now everyone is noticing the effects of that. This is a process. There's an energy that's coming through the earth, over the earth, whatever, and it's affecting us in different ways depending on your frequency that you're at, as the planet is changing, is raising its vibration. You know, we're all part of this. And so this is one of the most incredible things to ever happen in human history, in my opinion, this noticing another reality, which is how reality really works, in my opinion. So some of us are noticing multiple realities. And so I would like to take this video in another direction, since this channel was started trying to inform people. Well, let's see this real quick. I was going to show a clip of this here.
If I were you.
See the firearm? Right there, waving the gun around. Yeah, in this reality, the Scarecrow's always had a gun. So I want to talk about what this movie was really about, in a lot of people's opinion. Now, Frank Baum, the writer of the book, never agreed to the fact that this was about monetary policy at the time. You know, that my channel has mainly been about trying to expose the Federal Reserve, a private company who prints our currency and has way more control than they should. You know, private property, public access, permitted subject to direction by the Federal Reserve Bank of Richmond. There's 12 regional banks, one of them Richmond, another one Dallas, private property. Right there. It's private. There's a private company that controls our currency, everybody. Now, I'm doing this because I think I've gotten 3,000 or 4,000 new people on the channel, may not be aware of this information. And this is what I've always talked about, but I'm taking this opportunity with the Scarecrow and the gun and this reality to point out, you know, what I think that this story was really about. So I wanted to show here, you know, the following, the meaning of the yellow brick road. The following is a compilation of several views of monetary reform symbolism. So you have Dorothy representing, you know, the normal person, populist character from the heartland of America, the average Joe. The Scarecrow representing the farmers. Tin Man, the industrial workers. The Cowardly Lion is William Jennings Bryan, who ran for president in 96, 2000, 1900, 100 years ago. And, you know, he had the roar of a lion, but he was a coward. So the ruby slippers were made ruby for the movie, for Technicolor at the time, but they were really silver in the book. It says silver having to do with money. Silver is money. Gold is money. The paper currency we use is not money. That's currency. It's controlled by a private central bank, not U.S. government. The cyclone representing the free silver movement at the time. The cyclone in the movie. Oz, O-Z, is a symbol for an ounce of gold, of real money for thousands of years, everyone. Emerald City, Washington, D.C., and green being the paper currency. And so I guess you get the point. One of the witches would be Rockefeller, another one would be the Wall Street bankers, and I'm not going to cover all this. I just want to point this out. I'm sure some of you have never heard of this before. The wizard is actually the central bank president, in my opinion. And they control interest rates. They think they're smarter than the free market. They've taken this country, you know, I'm not Democrat, Republican. To me, they both destroyed this country. We're the biggest debtor country on the planet. 20 trillion in debt. And there's a lot of interest tied to that every month. 20 trillion, 100 trillion future obligation with Medicare and Social Security. So this has just gone way too far. It's all the curtain really is being lifted, everyone. That's what I want to say. The curtain is being lifted. You're gonna find out what's really going on. The reason I'm not talking about this as much anymore because I've left the negativity behind. I'm just tired of it. I sound like a broken record. But I wanted to point this out because I think that I've had thousands of people that have joined the channel that may not be aware of this. So I just want to put this out. There's a very good video called The Secret of Oz where it talks all about this. I just want to point out a couple of videos here real quick where the former chairman of the Federal Reserve, the man behind the curtain, was being asked where the money went in 2008 when everything blew up. And they were handing out trillions of dollars to foreign banks, just handing out our money. It's supposed to be our money, but not according to Bernanke here.
For example, we swap our currency, dollars, for their currency, euros. They take the dollars, lend interest rates in the global market for dollars. And meanwhile, we're not lending to those banks. We're
okay, so listen to this here.
The central bank is responsible for repaying us.
So who got the money?
Alan Grayson.
To financial institutions in Europe and other countries.
Which ones?
I don't know.
Isn't that nice?
$500 billion and you don't know who got the money?
The loan went to the loans go to the central banks, and they then put them out to their institutions to try to bring down short-term interest rates in dollar markets around the world.
Well, let's start with which central banks got the money.
There are 14 of them, which are listed in our. I'm sure they're listed in here somewhere.
I'm sure they're here somewhere. Who got them?
All right.
Trillions of dollars.
Who actually made that decision to hand out $1 trillion that way? $500 billion. Who made that decision?
The Federal Open Market Committee.
Okay. And was it done at one time or in a series of meetings?
A series of meetings.
And under what legal authority?
We have a long-standing legal authority to do swaps with other central banks.
Do you have no?
Federal Reserve Act 1913 that brought this private corporation into existence and gave them the authority to run our currency of the United States. I wanted to point out this one other video here real quick. Sanders questioning Bernanke after the 2008 financial crisis we had.
So Mike, Will you tell the American people to whom you lent $2.2 trillion of their dollars? Will you tell us who got that money and what the terms are of those agreements?
We explain each of our programs. In terms of the terms, we explain the terms exactly. We explain what the collateral requirements are. We explain what.
To whom did you explain that?
It's on our website.
Yeah, okay.
So all that information is available in our commercial paper program.
And who got the money?
Hundreds and hundreds of banks. Any bank that has access to the U.S. Federal Reserve's discount.
You tell us who they are.
No, because the reason that is counterproductive and will.
Counterproductive. The man behind the curtain at the time says, no, I'm not going to tell you, Congress. We act in secrecy, and you don't need to know. The American people don't need to know what we do. So the curtain really is going to be lifted on the Federal Reserve. They're up against a wall right now. They can't raise interest rates. I know a lot of you may not be interested in this financial information, but I wanted to bring this out. I wanted to share this. This is very important. This, to me, is the real man behind the curtain. It's the Federal Reserve, and they've destroyed this country. The bankers are going to be exposed as the energy comes across and the new earth and the old earth separate. The bankers, the negativity, the wars can all stay, but I'm trying to raise my vibration to go with the new earth. That's my plan. I know a lot of you out there, you feel this, you know something's going on, you know that the Mandela effect or quantum effect is something that's real. We're not just misremembering everything. I think a lot of us are beyond that now. It's totally ridiculous. This whole, it's 500, 600 things. I just, overnight, I misremember all this stuff. Yeah, okay. So it's just totally bizarre. I know a lot of these voting videos, I think they'll be important later on down the road. It's not really that important to point out an apostrophe here and it's not there and blah, blah, blah. And I understand all that. It's more important to talk about what's really going on, but no one really has pinpointed what's going on. Now, I've been talking about Dolores Cannon lately. David Icke has done a lot of things talking about the holographic universe, talking about this wave of energy that's coming. I mean, a lot of people point out the fact, David talks about reptilians, so, he's crazy. He's a nut, so don't listen to him. Well, okay. I believe that you should listen to everybody and follow no one. Make up your own mind, make up your own decisions, but don't be afraid to listen to things. Don't just go, my church told me that astrology is, it's of the devil, and okay, so the devil made the stars. I thought God created the universe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. Maybe this is all just in our minds. But that doesn't say, to me, that doesn't prove there's no God. There's a creator. To me, it's energy. It's an all-encompassing force, that holds everything together. It's electricity that's running through everything. I believe we return to it at some point, and it's pure love. And it's just, an incredible thing. And I think that's what this is. Beyond the man sitting in the chair, the bearded man and all that, whatever. Or I'm sorry, I'm getting way off topic here. But so anyway, let's finish this up here real quick. See if the man behind the curtain has anything else to say.
Destroy the value of the program is that banks will not come to the.
Isn't that too bad?
Sorry.
In other words, isn't that too bad? They took the money, but they don't want to be public about the fact that they received it. We heard a whole lot about AIG. They're in the front pages.
These are very.
Now, I got banks and I have businesses in the state of Vermont who are in a lot of trouble. Not
the banks, but the businesses would like to get these loans, these interest-free loans that Ben was handing out trillions of dollars to other banks because the whole system was coming down. That's why they can act in secrecy and hand out money around the world. To keep the system alive, we have a debt-based monetary system. Everything's debt. So that's why they have to keep piling on the debt to keep this alive. So it's all going to be exposed. It's all coming down. Thumb this video up if you're still with me. And you want to just show that you remember there never being a gun in The Wizard of Oz. There's always been a gun. If you were a little kid and said, hey, he's going to use that gun, Mommy. Your daddy, is he going to shoot the witch or whatever. Okay, that's fine. Then you remember this reality. There's always been a gun in this reality. But if you don't remember a gun, like me, my mom, my aunt, my cousin, please thumb this up if you don't remember a gun. I hope some of you were interested in this little tidbit of information about the inside information on the Wizard of Oz. There's a video called The Secret of Oz, which is really good. It explains all this, but Frank Baum would never admit to this, but it makes a lot of sense to me. So anyway, that's it. I have other videos coming out. I'm working on another one having to do with one of the signs of the zodiac. I'll throw that out there. So maybe tomorrow I'll come out with that video. But yeah, please comment. Just an incredible time, everybody. Incredible time. I will talk to everyone soon.